Hey everybody, and today we're going to take a look at this Spider-Man. It's playing fine, but it's got some operator alerts on it, so let's find out what those are. Switch 22 trough jam, so that will be, I don't know if we can see it from here, no. Or from here, we can see it lit up. See the red light in the trough? So there's an opto that goes across the top here. That's your trough jam switch. Basically it detects when the balls are stacked up in the trough, that's what it's for. But that appears to not be working. A dip switch? Well, that's kind of weird. Normally, basically, the switch alerts happen when a switch hasn't been activated for a long period of time. And a dip switch not being activated for a long time is odd because you don't move them generally. But I wonder if that's... maybe it's like intermittent or something. Never seen that before. So just those. Okay, well let's look at the trough then. That definitely needs looking at. Yes, I was about to lift up the playfield and there's a bunch of stuff in here. So I've not fitted this yet. I must have bought this quite a while ago. These are pretty cool. The Quake shaker motors. These are like a third party made by a pinball collector. I could probably get that fitted actually while we're at it. And also I have some mods. So I've got the light up Sandman mods. I've got these pieces of plastic that get velcroed down around the Sandman. That's part of it, I believe. And then, what's this one? And this one's cool. I like this. This is a train that goes over the shooter lane. So let's have a look at what is required to fit that as well. Not sure if there's actually anything wrong with this, so if we get a screwdriver and block the beam. So it is detecting. I just wonder if it's a loose connection. Let's have a look. So either potentially a loose connection or maybe something needs reflowing. I can't really see the other side. Let's have a look. So this is the emitter side. It's not doing anything. I was expecting it to start bleeping as I jiggle it, but it isn't. So I might just reset it and then see if it comes back. If it comes back, then we'll investigate again. For now, I think we're good. So next up we've got to look at this Elvis. It's playing fine apart from the blue suede shoes shot is uncompletable currently. So blue suede shoes, the ball will drop down to the upper flipper and then you fire it around the loop and there's an opto at the back that detects that, lifts up a gate, and then the gate allows the ball to come back round. That gate's not lifting up because it seems to bounce off it, well, it's not lifting up properly. Now I know that sometimes on Elvis's the spring comes off, so we're going to lift the playfield and check that out. Right, so we've gone into solenoid tests and it's very hard to see. It's that control gate just back there underneath the Heartbreak Hotel. It's also a pain in the ass to get to. Let's fire the coil. Sounds like it's working. I can't see it though from where I am. So it's that. That's the gate there. Let's see if we can see it flipping up or not. I see something happening. I don't think I see the gate going up, but I see the spring moving, so let's, yeah, it's going to be a pain in the arse. I don't really have much space to get down there. I might lift the playfield up fully and see what we can see. Right, so this mechanism, coils alive, so I don't really want to touch them. But that mechanism there, that's, you know, it's focusing on the wires. But that's where the spring goes through. Yeah, so the spring is attached. It actually comes off there on the bottom sometimes. Can I get a focus on it? Yeah, it actually comes off that little metal tab. But it appears to be attached. So I'm wondering if the gate isn't folding up enough or something. Maybe it's bent. So I'll have to try and pull the machine out a bit more and take a look at that closer. Well, I've managed to move everything out from under this machine and move it forward. And I know for sure now, basically by manually rolling the ball round, I can see the spring moving. But this gate is not flipping up. So it flips up manually, so when the ball rolls through this way it flips up fine. When the spring pulls down it isn't flipping up, so there's something wrong with the mechanism. Look how much crap I've got to remove to get to that. That's not going to be fun. It's kind of one of those situations I think, I wish I had a rubber kit. I might have to go and see if I've got any spare rubbers. Because I could do a cleaning this and re-rubbering it, and if I'm going to take all that off, I might as well do that. Well, I'm very pleased, as I didn't really want to do a clean-up on this machine at this moment, because I'm trying to get ready for an event. I've managed to flip the mechanism around and get it working again, so if I can just simulate pushing down on the spring, you'll see that that now flips. I don't know how reliable this is going to be. Is it going to come off again? Okay, these are full stripped down at some point, but that is now working, so I'm going to give it a play test after putting the machine back, and hopefully that'll do it for now. Right, let's see if I can do this by hand. Just nope, not enough. There we go. So it looped round and hit the magnet. So that is now working. Thankfully an easy fix. Right, next up is stern lightning. Now, I had all these machines on the other day when I was just testing them out, and I could smell burning after a few minutes, and I believe it was this machine. I've had a quick look in everywhere. I can't see anything obvious, can't see any burnt components, so let's power it up and see what it does. That's the boots. Start game. Oh, it didn't drop a ball. We're out of. Let's pop the glass off. I think we've got no solenoid voltage. Right, I've lifted up the playfield. I was going to check out. We've got some test points here. Then we can check the fuses. A quick look under the playfield, and straight away you can probably see something doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. It doesn't feel bulged. What about the mechanism? Does it move? No, it doesn't. That is locked up. Now the game was in a track mode when it failed, so one of the back box transistors must have been leaking, and basically either, I'm guessing it hasn't been fully switched on because it isn't like completely bulged out, it's just stopping this from moving. Anyway, I'm going to guess we have no solenoid voltage at all. Can't see. Well, I'm guessing we've got a fuse out. I'm going to check that. So the coil fuse down here on the rectifier board, that tests good. So that hasn't blown. What are we getting on this coil? Oh, we've got a less than 2 ohms, 1.5 ohms. Yeah, that's totally shorted out as expected, but I don't think that's what caused it. I think the transistor must have been leaking while it was in a track mode. So there should be an under playfield fuse. There it is. Yeah, that's blown. I can see that. Yeah, that's gone. So that fuse there is gone. Right, I've got this mechanism released, and we can see this coil is really melted, but it was melted. So it was melted while it was in that position, while it was in the up position, the standing position. Normally if the coil's shorted on, it's going to pull that in and then melt around that. As it melted like that, let's say I think the transistor was leaking, so it wasn't actually pulling it through, it was just getting hot over a period of time. So I need to go find a coil. I should have some spare stern parts somewhere, so I can just rip one off one of those mechs, and then we'll get the driver board out and we'll test the transistor, which I'm sure is going to be shorted, and then we'll replace it anyway. Well, I found my box of stern parts, so what do we need? We need a 27-1600. So let's go see what have we got. 26-1500, 28-23. It's not looking promising. 2611, 2615, 2615. These are slingshots, and they've got different coils. What's this? 25-500? That's flipper. Okay. This is not looking hugely promising. 1200, 1100. Okay, disappointing. Let's see, where else can I look? Should have some more coils somewhere. Well, I've checked a lot of boxes and I'm not finding any, what was it, 27 1600. So we might have to go in the loft to see if we've got any on some playfields. Well, I've been checking boxes of coils everywhere and I don't have any 27 1600s. Additionally, I checked some playfields on the loft. I had a couple of Stern playfields and they had 26 1200s on the slingshots. So just to get this one running, I'm going to be sticking a 26 1200 on. I'm sure it'll be fine. I imagine the 27 1600 is just a weaker version because it's got a very small lower playfield area on Lightning. But let's go and do that. So I realise the closest match actually I've got is a 26 1500, so we will use that one. And it's obviously the same size coil physically. So we're just going to desolder the wires, solder this in, reassemble the mechanism, and then we'll check out that driver board problem. Right, the coil is fitted and soldered in. We need to replace this fuse. What is it? 1 1/4 amp. I don't think they exist, or at least they don't now. Well, my toolbox fuel kit has a 1 amp, or well, it's got 1.6 but only in the 20 mil. I've got a 1 or a 2. Let's go upstairs and check the mega fuse kit and see if we've got something closer. And that's a no. So 32 mil, we've got 1 amp. We've got 20 mil 1.6 and then 2 amp in the 32s, so no, they don't exist. So might try a 1 amp, see if it actually lasts without blowing. If not, we'll have to go to a 2. I'm going to do some googling, see if I can get something like a 1.5 maybe. I probably imagine you can get those, so let's find out. Right, so I've stuck a 1 amp slow blow in here for now. I managed to find some 1.25, funny enough, on eBay. The 32 mils are getting harder to find the strange values, but it does appear that someone's got some Chinesium fuses on eBay, so I bought them. They'll be here in a few days, but we'll use the 1 amp for now. I'm interested to see if it locks on when I power it on. Oh, that's a no. Okay. Start a game now. Yes, we can. That's noisy. Okay, so as I suspected, it's not shorted on, but it is leaking. I'm going to confirm that by testing if we've got some current flowing through the coil now. So I suspect I just need to change that transistor and then it should be good to go. Does it actually work? So it even works. So let's say it's not even stuck on, it's working, it's just leaking. And just before we go ahead and look at the driver board, I'm just checking out some bulbs. So I've got some dead bulbs to replace and some dodgy sockets which need the well, they need replacing, but basically what I do is I unsolder it from the tab and then solder straight onto the spot there after sanding it. As you can see on some of these, that just extends life a bit till I get around to replacing them all. So I've got a few of those to do, and let's do that. Right, I've replaced what I can, but it appears we've got a couple of lamp driver board issues. So for example, this extra ball light here, so I'm connected onto the power feed for the feature lamps and I'm connected onto the tip of that bulb. That's just basically just to prove that the socket and the bulb are making good connection, and as we can see we're getting 3.6 ohms, a little on the higher side, but it will light up at that. So as we're getting nothing on that one, and also I leave on this 2X, which has already been soldered. Let's get a glance on that. I'm struggling to make a good contact. There we go. Oh, that is a little bit janky. That needs replacing. That one, it's beyond repair, I think, at that stage. So I'll drop a new one in there. That extra ball one, that appears to be a driver board fault. Right. That looks about right for a stern. Oh no, it's a Gottlieb, it's got the 2 tabs. I'll waste them. There's a back box, there's your flashers. Wow, I think that's stern. That's the right height for stern. Looks like we're running low on these. I have to replace so many. I've got these 3 here, plus I've got some more in the garage. So I end up replacing so many bulb holders. Just check that's the correct height. And yes, it is. So we'll get that number 2 one out and get it replaced. So I'm just going to show you for people that have not worked on these old machines. Let me get that out of the way. So I've taken the screw out. And as you can see, if we can get a focus, so this is the main power feed for the future lamps. It's just a bare wire that goes on the plate field, and it's soldered onto all the holders. So we need to heat that up and desolder it, slip the new one under, and then solder it on. And that's the old holder, and as we can see, I've already soldered the body to the tab for grounding. Well, that's not the ground, that's the positive voltage. And I've already soldered the wire straight onto the back of it. And the reason this one's now beyond service is it's all rusty in there. You could wire brush it out, but that's just a piece of crap. I couldn't stay of it. So in the bin it goes, and new one is installed. I've just soldered that wire on, and let's give it a test. Right, so I'm just showing you in the back of the back box. I don't think I've got time really to do any more filming on this one. But basically, we need to locate which transistor it is for that slingshot. We'll take this board out and go and replace that on the bench, so you don't need to really see that. But bear in mind, next time you see the machine, it will have been done. And same with this is the lamp driver. So we basically just need to identify which one of these SCRs is responsible for the non-working extra ball light. We'll take this board out, we'll replace it, and then next time you see it, this machine should be working fully. Right, so as you can see, the work's been done. The 2X is working, the extra ball light is working. We've also replaced the drive transistor for the slingshot. I'm just going to make sure it doesn't fire in a track mode, which it doesn't. What we'll do is leave this machine on for a bit, and then we'll check that the coil is not warm. This should be done, and then we can move on to the next one.